Hi, I'm back. I'll be reading some more from The Deep End of the Ocean. Chapter 21. There was no interval at all that Beth could later recognize as a period of sleep. She was awake, looking at the light. Her forearms prickled with the cold fall air. Her eyes burning, and then she was awake, looking for the light, which was off. It was morning. She scanned the street quickly for evidence of cars, backing out of driveways to be at work by 8. There were none. It was early morning before 7. Before 7. Before 7. Beth rose and felt the cold wetness in the crotch of her jeans. Looked up at a bedroom window which faced the street. Was Pat awake? Line up, thought Beth. I will wake Carrie. I will wake Vincent. I will measure coffee and put it in the drip. Then I will call Candy. While it's quiet, I will call her. She pushed open the screen door the moment when she could call Candy, fluttering ahead of her like the tail of a kite. Pat was at the table reading to Carrie from the back of the Cheerios box. Vincent was eating toast, standing with his back to Beth, the line in, and Pat's face looked carved in wax. He was ghostly, patches larger than Angel apostrophes, red and bruises beneath his eyes. Carrie's having breakfast, he told Beth. I see. Beth replied, catching a glimpse of her own, stained and rumpled self in the bathroom mirror. What were you doing on the porch, Mommy? Asked Carrie. Watching the sun come up, said Beth, and then asked her son Vincent, do you need a ride? Jordy's dad, he said quietly. Okay, that's good, that's fine. Beth walked into the kitchen and began to measure coffee into a filter. But Pat had already made coffee, lots of coffee. She dumped the first grounds into the sink. She heard Pat tell Carrie, 2, Mangia. Soon it would be time to walk to school. I'm going to ride my bike, Carrie told him. I'm 9 now. I'm older than 18 of the kids and thought, you can't ride your bike, Pat told her gently. Kids in and walking distance can't ride their bikes, and you don't have a bike lock. Will you get me a bike lock just in case, Daddy? Yes, I will. Today? Yeah, sure, said Pat. I will get it. Get it. Right after you go to school, and you can put it on when you get home. Beth listened amazed. By the time Carrie got home from school, who among the people around this table, whatever happened, whatever the magnitude, would be able to think of bike locks and chains and combinations. Pat, she realized, Pat would. Pat would do it. Do it. Be Pat would do it beforehand in pendants in petition. And so she wasn't surprised when he followed Carrie out the door, kissing the child lightly and calling her Chicoria, the name in Italian for a wild flower. Beth heard him start the car, heard him pull away. Heard him pull away. Line up, she thought, line up. Now what? She poured her coffee, raising it recklessly to her lips, burning the soft skin so badly that she felt a welt rise. Vincent was leaving. She caught up with him at the door, and suddenly, fearfully, laid her head against his shoulder, which was exactly at the level of her own shoulder. He stopped, shrugging his knapsack onto the other shoulder, looking out into the street with forceful intensity. Goodbye, Mom, he said, not looking. She saw his jaw jump, and with WRITHE, as though the muscles were being stimulated by jokes. Vincent, said Beth, wait. She needed urgently to tell him. She had to tell him. But what could she say? It's possible that a kid 2 blocks away is your brother. That Ben isn't dead anymore.
Can I talk to you?
Yeah.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
What's your new earphone you got? Oh shit. What's it do?
It forces out sound.
How does it work?
You just put it on and
Can I see it? How it does it?
it's charging up.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I need to charge up for 8 hours.
Is it Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Oh, where's my ear? She told me. Wendy! Where is she? Oh, I told the Jennifer I was here.
Yeah.
I let Jennifer know what. Hold on, the door's open. Because I let her know what just happened to us.
Yeah.
Josie know. I let her know about the chocolate issue with us.
Oh.
And Jennifer's gonna. I don't think Diana's gonna have a crush. We'll see next week what happens. She won or not. We'll get a feeling about it. I have a feeling she's coming back.
I know.
I just want to tell you that. Thanks, Ellie. You got your name, buddy. I'm not talking to her, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye, Mom, he said, not looking. She saw his jaw jump and WRITHE, as though the muscles were being stimulated by jokes. Vincent, said Beth, wait. She needed urgently to tell him. She had to tell him. But what could she say? It's possible that a kid 2 blocks away is your brother. That Ben isn't dead anymore. And we still don't know anything more about the way we lost him than we did that day. You lay on the luggage trolley at the treadmill and slept with Ben's blanket across your chest. She said instead, Vince, I love you. I want you to know I love you. He said, why, thanks. Not a trace of surprise. He still didn't look at her. Beth said, have a good time today. You too, he said. Beth heard the crunch of gravel as Jody's dad wheeled his immense cherry-colored Chevy van into the apron of their drive. As the door closed behind Vincent, Beth saw something lying on the chair where he had stood, eating his toast. Half the half the chewed bit still lay on the edge of the table next to Carrie's empty cereal bowl. There was a slip, no, a sheet of paper in the chair. She picked it up. It was one of the full-face shots of the boy mowing the lawn. It was not one that Beth had given Pat. This shot had been strung on the line last night. It was one of the best. Beth had meant to give it to Candy. Beth ran to the door and yanked it open. The van was just turning the corner, lights winking. Still, she yelled, "Vincent, wait!" The brake lights seemed to come on for an instant, but then the van kept going. "No!" Beth cried. "Fool! She should have kept him home. He was not a child of 7 anymore. To send him off to school today was a mortal insult. But it was past 8. She picked up the telephone and looked at it. She called Candy at home. "Girlfriend," Candy cried happily, "I'm running more than 1,000% late. Can you eat lunch? Can you eat lunch? One of the weekdays, Candy?" Beth said. "There's something I need to tell you." "What's wrong, Beth?" said Candy, instantly tensing. "Is Pat sick?" Candy listened. She paused for breath. "I think I found Ben. Because Beth had seen her do it so often, she could now watch the silence on the other end of the line as if it were film. Watch. Candy Blit let her gargantuan bag slide down her arm like a weary cat. See her rise. One perfect finger to the place just between her eyes and press hard. "Beth, do you mean that you got a letter or a phone call?" "I saw him, Candy. He came to my door." He came to your door? Here? He found you here?" "Ben would be what? He'd be 12, Beth. You were saying he came home?" "No, he didn't know me. He lives here. Whoever it is that took him lives in this neighborhood, I guess." "That's impossible." "Well, he's here, except I don't know it's him for sure." "You do know." "I don't know. He looks like the AIDS projection. His eyes were always a weird shade of gray without any blue, and they still are. The shape of his lips and eyes, yes, I would say with 90% certainty that this is my son. He has 2 cowlicks. The birthmark?" "I didn't pull his pants down, Candy." As she said it, a revulsive thing swarmed under her heart. Who had? Which scenario was it? Come on, Miss CAPPADORA. Choose door 1, 2, or 3. The con artist, the yarner, the molester. Was this Ben? 9 years had telescoped into a day and a night and a day. Was it over? "I'll be right there, Candy. was telling her, because it was one of her walks. Beth knew precisely how long it would take for Candy to drive from her own apartment to Beth's house, depending on the time of day. She glanced at the clock. She had 25 minutes. Running upstairs, she stripped off her gummy jeans and shirt, which still stank of a developing chemical. She showered and carefully put on middle-level work clothes, cotton trousers, a tunic. She dried her hair instead of merely combing it with her fingers. She put on mascara. She sat down on the bed and forcefully tried to still herself. Dead legs, limp arms, hands that felt animate only around the edges of a camera, dead stomach that had learned to receive food as a matter of factly, as a supermarket scanner, dead hard with its patent receptors all surged and tingled. Could he be her Ben, her freckled baby, her rain-eyed darling, folded so long in death, silent as his baptismal gown, lying in the cedar chest, come, miraculously alive? It wasn't stupefying, wonderful beyond imagining. It was terrifying. And then Beth thought, oh God, my God, I will be able to touch Ben's hair. If she could do that, she would not care if her hand was then set on fire. The doorbell rang, but before Beth could answer it, Candy walked in and took Beth into her arms without greeting. They stood in the fractured sunlight of the lower hall, where Pat found them when he came home, dutifully carrying Carrie's bike lock and chain. Are you scared to death? Candy asked. To death, Beth told her. Scared? asked Pat. Scared of what? Let's go. I can't wait, Candy. We have to go there right now. Go where? Beth asked irritably. We don't know what house he's in, or if he's really in a house 2 blocks away. And anyway, he'll be in school. It's the short day, said Pat. School ended at 1:30 p.m. on Mondays. All three of them looked at their watches. It was just after 9. Candy silently picked up the print Vincent had left behind and studied it as Pat shifted the bike chain and lock from hand to hand. From hand to hand. He said he'd come back, Beth said, to finish the lawn. He went out of gas. I didn't get gas, Pat nearly screamed. He's not really going to mow the lawn, Pat, Beth told him, nearly laughing before she could stop herself. Of course, no one thinks we're going to sit here and wait for this kid to remember to show up and mow the lawn, Candy said softly. You are just not thinking clearly. I can't imagine how you would, or how I will. or how I will. But I am going to try. And the first thing we have to do is Beth. You said he goes to Carrie's school. She says he's in 6th at Sandburg. And they are two separate buildings, the elementary and the middle. Yep, connected. There's one gym and all. Okay, so that's where we will start. I will call Jimmy Daugherty. Though strictly speaking, this isn't what he does anymore. But I know how much he will want to be involved if this is it, and we will go down there and find out the kid's name and the identity of who's ever listed as his parent or guardian. She got up, pouring herself coffee no one had thought to offer her, and went on as if dictating a list to an assistant might need a pony. If the school isn't officially impressed with the necessity of cooperating with the release of this information. Not a problem. Harry Branyard will help. Beth looked at Pat. Circuit court judge, she said, but if we start with school pictures, yearbooks, this shouldn't be too much trouble. I would want to cooperate with helping solve one of the most intractable missing person cases in recent history. Wouldn't you? Candy tapped her teeth with her nail. But for us, I need to see the rest of the pictures. Beth said on the hard table. Did we see them? Candy asked, rummaging in her bag for paper and a pen. I think he did, Beth told her one. At least. Pat looked up, horrified. You showed Vincent? I didn't show him. He looked. Candy asked, can I see them now? Beth laid them all out except the one Candy still held, end to end on the kitchen table in lines like the child's game called memory. Candy put her glasses on and stood over them. As Beth watched her concentration, she realized Candy was crying prettily, quietly, without either pretense or fuss. The way Candy did everything. I'm sorry, she told Beth. Beth said, I can make more. This face. And Beth thought of the side-by-side photos of Ben that Candy kept above her desk, tackled to a bulletin board. Not dog-eared, not wrinkled, carefully smooth, all of them. His baseball mitt picture, the first missing poster, the second, the computer projection, Ben's face at 6, at 8, this face, when I went, Philadelphia, Santa Fe, Jersey, the child in Palo Alto, the little green girl boy in Michigan, and then afterward, when we all presumed, even I presumed, that he had died. Wherever I went, conferences, vacations, to see my mother in Tampa, I carried those copies. I still had them. She extracted a manila envelope from her purse and spilled the contents on the table. And I realized after the first few years that I could no more stop looking for that face than I could stop breathing in and breathing out. It was like the fantasy of the perfect lover. Be there, Ben, I would say, in this park, at this fair. Let me see you on the street. Let me bring you home to Beth. Candy scribbled otherwise with the back of her hand. And then there come a time when I knew it was only a day or a few hours before I would have to leave, and I call and say I was in town. There was this kid, White. You remember the CAPPADORA kid? And I would ask about their unidentified, the baby does autopsy pictures and graves, Potter's fields and beautiful plots, wanting and hoping it would be Ben, terrified it would be Ben, but mostly hoping that the Ben would be found done, even if I had to tell you he was dead, that he'd been dead for years. She reached out for Pat's hand. I wanted to see this face. I wanted to have Ben back for you and me. And then, shaking herself visibly, she stood up to find the phone. I'm going to call my lieutenant and the chief and tell them, and we will get things started. What should we do? Pat asked. Should we go down to the school? Cindy paused. Candy paused. Until we can ID this kid. I mean, prove for absolutely 100% beyond the remotest shadow of a doubt that this is Ben. You can start calling the shots. And right now, this kid is the legal responsibility of whomever we learn are his parents. His parents, Pat cried. I mean, until we are sure it's Ben. We can't just go and grab some kid who might have gotten that red hair from his Uncle Arnold and take him to WEDING in the old neighborhood for BRACIOLE. So how are we going to find out for sure? The whole routine blood test, identifying marks, the fingerprints, of course, dental charts. He was 3, Candy. He didn't have charts, Beth said. We went all through. We went through all that. A million times when it happened, you remember well, right. I'm not all there. Could you folks excuse me for a few moments? You folks, it shocked Beth. Wasn't Candy family or nearly? Hadn't she shared nights of too many bears, picnics, and a humid field? Candy and Chris's second anniversary at wedding in the old neighborhood, a barbecue at Rosie's. Candy taking Carrie horseback riding for the first time. All of these had telescoped on a dime, as had the span of Ben's absence. It was the day after the night of the day. Candy was still a detective. They were civilians now. I'm going to go down to the school with. Candy scanned the table with this picture and the others, of course. You guys stay here and listen for the phone. Jimmy will be calling as soon as they can find him. He knows to come here first. Sit tight now. Sit tight. She left, trailing her bag. Beth left Pat in the kitchen and went upstairs, where she lay down on her neatly made bed. A few moments later, Pat came up and lay beside her. They did not speak or touch. The telephone startled both of them, but neither reached to pick it up. When the answering machine clicked on, they could hear Jimmy shouting, Jesus Christ, Berthy, we are going crazy over here. Berthy, Pat, are you there? Well, I don't know if you are there or not, but I'm on my way. He seemed to speak for a moment to someone else. I know. Can you believe this shit? And then, I'm on my way. Hang in there, Beth. Pat, Vincent, how long they lay there, Beth would not later remember, perhaps only minutes. Then the front door opened and closed, and she heard Candy pick up the kitchen phone. Beth raised herself and rolled off the bed. Pat had fallen with automatic grace asleep. She sat on the bottom step until Candy saw her. They want a fucking saponi, she said. I'm on hold for Bernard. Beth said nothing. When Candy finally finished, she turned back to Beth and said tersely, I have no patience for this. I'm sweating like a pig. They did. Let me look at the yearbooks. He's been there since kindergarten. His name is Sam. Karras. We couldn't get the parents' names, but Beth, Candy came and sat beside her on the step. He's an only child. Okay, that's all for now. Bye-bye.